Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing great today. My name is Tomi and I'm back with a new video. It's been a while since I've posted a video. It's been maybe a month or so. I do really want to be consistent. I know I say that every single video, but it's just been a struggle. People in my personal life just know how much of a struggle it's been for me and how much I do want to be consistent, but circumstances just aren't really allowing me right now. So hopefully by the grace of God, some changes will be made very soon to where I can actually produce content on a more consistent basis, which is what I want. So I'm really excited for this video. As you guys can tell by the title, I'm going to be telling you guys about how God gave me a new job just straight out the blue. And I'm just gonna jump right into it. If you guys are interested, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. I'm in the process of creating, I really want to get into style, beauty, stuff like that. The stuff that I'm interested in naturally, I mean, in real life, I'm into fashion, I'm into beauty a little bit. I've actually gotten into beauty a lot more since some changes have been made in my life. And I really do want to make content around that and about my relationship with God and fashion and stuff. So if you guys are interested, please make sure to subscribe to my channel, follow me on my social media. I post a lot of food reels on there, which it's not intentional, but apparently I'm starting to post a lot of food reels. So if you guys are interested in food and fashion, make sure to check me over on TheAdeTomi on Instagram. And yeah, let's jump into the video. If you guys are wondering what I'm drinking, I am drinking some turmeric ginger tea. I think it's by Tulsi. I'll leave the brand down in the description bar below if you guys are interested. It's one of my favorite teas and I really do like it. I'm a tea person. So I won't be drinking it the entire video so I don't distract you guys, but that is what I'm drinking. So of course, like always, I have my notebook in front of me just to make sure I'm getting all my points down. I kind of didn't really write what I was gonna say because I know what the story is, but I want to make sure that I get this across to you and how God answered my prayers. So jumping into it, I used to have a job. I used to work as a systems engineer, project manager at my old company. And I really enjoyed working there. It was my first job out of college and I absolutely loved it. I never intended to leave especially at the point where I left. I had gotten on a new team and it was with a manager that used to be a lead. And when he was a lead and I was working in another team, he wasn't necessarily the nicest. I'm not going to say anything bad about him, even though there's a lot I could say, but he's one of those like, I want to be in power type people. He always acted like that from the moment I came into the company. Fortunately, my interactions were limited with him, so I didn't have to interact with him a lot. But when I did, I had to be very strong and very firm and not like waver. I'm getting that from anime, but like not like waver. I had to make sure that I was really confident about what I was saying because he's the type of person that like he'll look at you and like it seemed like he got a kick out of making people feel helpless and weak. And I never really liked the way I felt about him or like I felt around him. So I limited my interactions with him. 4 years into my career, this man becomes my manager. And I really wanted to make it work. I really did. But as time progressed, I had a mentor that was actually an executive in the company. And he also happened to be in my direct line of management as well. He was like my manager's boss's boss, if that makes sense. He was like 5 levels above me, 4 levels above my manager. I had worked with my mentor to basically, I told my mentor I always wanted to interact with people. I'm a people person, even though like sometimes I say I'm not, but I love people and I love interacting with people. So I knew I wanted to be a manager. And so I let my mentor know that this was where I wanted my career path to go. And he was kind of helping me along the way on things that I should be doing. Whenever I approached my manager and I let him know like, hey, I really want to do, it's called CAM, cost account manager. I'm not really good in finance, but I was willing to learn if it was going to get me to where I need to go. And that's how I am. It doesn't matter if I need to learn something to get me where I need to go, I'm going to learn it. It's no problem to me. So I told my manager, and he was actually the CAM for my team. So it was kind of a problem because he didn't want to give up that responsibility to me or to anybody. And so he said that, okay, I could assist. And as time went on, he never called me for anything. And then I realized that he actually let someone else on my team shadow him for what he was doing. And it really just bummed me out. I will mention I was the only Black person on my team. Based on my conversations with other people, my old manager who's Black, my senior manager at the time who was Black, it seemed like a lot of the problems that he had were with Black people. I don't know if that was the cause, but I did notice that people treated me very, very, very differently from everybody else on the team, especially my manager and some of the leads as well. I was never given any responsibility, even if I volunteered for it, and I kind of got like the crummy work that no one wanted to do. Excuse me while I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. So that was kind of it. That's kind of where I was. I really wanted to do the CAM situation. There was actually a CAM training that was going to be offered at my site for free. It's a 5-day program and I really wanted to do it. So I let my manager know, like, hey, my mentor already signed off on it and I really want to work on this and I want to do the training. And I sent that about 2 weeks before. He never really like said yes or no. He just didn't really talk about it. So a week to the day, I messaged him and I was like, because this was around the time the pandemic started. So I messaged him and I was like, hey, so this is going on next week. What do you think? And then he basically said no, and that he wanted me to do all the other trainings. And I was like, okay, I've done all the other trainings. Can I go to the CAM training that's going to be on site? And he said no. And it really hurt me a lot because I had already been approved to go by my senior manager. Everyone was on board for me to go. And then basically 2-3 days before the training actually happened, I was told no. So it really, really hurt my feelings. I was really upset. And at that point, that was when I was like, you know what? I think it's time to make a change. So I started actively looking. So I think that happened in April or so. I didn't actually start looking until May. To move forward a little bit, May of 2020 was a very, very hard month for me. I know that it was a hard month for a lot of people, but it was the worst I've ever felt about myself in my life. To the point where I didn't really want to be here anymore. It was very, very rough. Every single day, something would trigger me and I would cry for hours and hours and hours. And I just thank God that I had just gotten my puppy, Bentley, that died. I had gotten my puppy around that time. And literally he was what was keeping me alive, because I was just like, who's going to feed him? Who's going to take care of him? Like, he's not going to be able to eat. And so sometimes God makes you make decisions. He sends people, pets, things to just keep you going in such a rough time. And so Bentley was what kept me going at that time. So I had a major breakdown in May, and that was when I decided, you know what, I think it's time for me to leave this job because it's not helping me, and also to go somewhere where I can grow and be closer to home, to my parents. Because I was going through it. No one knew what I was going through because I kept it to myself. I didn't even go to therapy because I really wanted to handle it by myself, and I didn't want to use medication, which I do not recommend. If you are going through something like that, I definitely suggest you go to therapy. And if you do need medication, to get on it. It was not a good decision on my part, I will say that. And I would not do it again. I would definitely seek help. When I started applying for jobs, I had a real confidence issue at that time. I just felt like I wasn't good enough and there was no way anyone was going to hire me, because a lot of the stuff that I'm doing in my company is not like, I feel like if you stay there for too long, you can't move to any other type of industry, because a lot of the skill set is just niche to the industry. And it's going to be very, very hard to branch out and to look for other positions and to try to go elsewhere. So it's pretty difficult, but that was when I first started to really have faith in God. Applying to jobs is kind of difficult. It's applying is very, very difficult no matter what it is. Like for me, it's not, because I've never really felt confident in my skills. I do now. Don't get me wrong, I do now. Like my mindset has completely changed, but because I didn't really feel confident in my skills at that time, it was very hard applying and getting rejections and getting interviews and getting rejections. And so I won't even lie to you, I didn't even apply for that long. I probably applied for about 3 weeks, like from the middle of May to like end of May, first week of June. I didn't apply for long, and I got an interview for my current company. This interview was crazy, and this is how I know that it was God. All my other interviews were a lot more specific. They were asking like technical questions and everything. But this interview, you guys, like God is so good in how this interview went. Y'all, the interview was one interview over the phone. One interview over the phone. And let me tell you how the interview went. Okay, so tell me about yourself. Hi, my name is Tomi. I do this, this, and this. I do that, that, and that. And I'm currently pursuing my master's in engineering management. And they were like, okay, do you know this? Have you done this? And it was literally, I did not have any interview skills at that time. Literally, it was like, do you know anything about this? Yes. Do you know anything about that? Have you done anything with this? Have you done anything with that? Yes. I promise you guys, the interview was 20 minutes long. The entire interview was about 20 minutes long. I couldn't even tell you what they asked me because I don't remember. And I just know it was yes or no questions. And I was like, man, I failed this interview. Man, I failed this interview. But the reason I really wanted it was because it was like the recruiter had told me that you would have the opportunity to work from home up until a certain point. And that was what I really wanted. And I just really wanted to work from home. I still do. Even though I don't, I still do. To be honest, I didn't know majority of the questions that they asked me. A lot of the questions that they asked me, I was like, no, I haven't really done this before, but I've worked with requirements, but I haven't really done that before. Like literally, that's all I was saying. And the interview was 20 minutes long, and I was like, okay. She said they would get to me by the end of the week. I think I had my interview on a Tuesday or Wednesday, and they said they would get to me by the end of the week. End of the week came, and nobody tell me nothing. I was like, ha, Jesus. I've not gotten the job, boo. I've not gotten the job. That was when I really started to exercise my faith. I was going to find the paper. I completely forgot. I don't know where I put it. But I was like, okay, I'm going to have faith. They said write the vision and make it plain. So that's what I'll do. So what I did was I wrote an email basically telling my team that I would be leaving by the end of June. Yeah, I wrote an email. I didn't send it out. It was just a personal email that I put like on my bathroom window or my bathroom mirror to look at all the time. So it said, hey, I've had an amazing time working here and working with you guys. I am going to be furthering my career down in Texas, and I'm going to have this position, and it's just a better time for me to be closer with my parents. It's been great working with you guys. If you want to reach me, you can contact me at this number. If you want to keep in touch, you can contact me at this number. That was what I was using to pray. My faith wasn't very strong then, as I would say it is now. I wasn't even, and really like, God answers prayers because God knows that I wasn't really serious about my faith like that in that time. And so I spent 2 weeks worrying, and I used to have really crippling anxiety. Like I wouldn't be able to eat. I wouldn't be able to sleep. I wouldn't hear anything. And so it took me about a week before like I actually stopped worrying after I still didn't hear anything back. And once I stopped worrying and I still used that paper to pray and I would read it every day, I remember one day I just randomly woke up early. I do wake up early, but that day I woke up particularly early. And I was like, let me just check my email. Let me just check my email. And I checked my email and I had gotten the offer. It was like at 5:36 a.m. in the morning, I had gotten the offer. I was like, wait, what? Because I actually thought it was a rejection email, the way the title was. And y'all, I got the offer and I got a 35%. Yeah, I got a 35% pay increase compared to my salary at my last company. And y'all, my mind was blown. I started crying. I was just like, what? Me? Literally, like all I did was answer yes or no to these questions. I didn't know anything. I didn't even know that they were actually going to choose me. I didn't know they were going to pick me. I was just like so worried. And it's so crazy how God just answers prayers when you least expect it. Because at that point, I had already been like, okay, I'm not getting the job. It's fine. I didn't get the job and it's okay. And in a moment, God just like changed everything up and I got the job. And it was so wild. It was the only one that I got an offer for, but it was all I needed to like move back home and be with family and to experience the growth that I needed. And I'm just so grateful to God. Honestly, I did very bad. I will be honest with you, because I promised God I was going to make this video if he gave me that job. And this was in May of 2020. It's been almost 2 years and I never made the video. And something in my heart was just convicting me that, Tomi, you said you were going to do this, so you need to do this. I told God that this would be my testimony and that I was going to share it with everyone to let you know what God did in my life. That is how I got the job that I'm currently in. And I just want to give glory to God, because with how my anxiety was, with how my interview skills were, with everything, like he just blew my mind, and how he answered that prayer and I got the offer. I remember the recruiter calling me and saying, hey, you got the offer. She actually called me the next day after I already got the email. She was like, hey, you got the offer. And I was like, I know, I'm so excited. Yeah, I just want to tell you, like, if you're in a period right now where you're looking for a job, or you've been looking for a job for a long time, and this is encouragement to myself as well, God doesn't forget. God is not going to forget you. The Bible says that he has plans for us that are good and not of evil, to bring us to an expected end. And God really has those plans for you, and he's going to make it happen. And even if he doesn't, the truth of the matter is, even if he doesn't, he might even have something better for you in store. Like, God's timing is the best. And that's one thing I'm realizing and understanding by myself, that God's timing is the best. You want things to happen in God's time, because he knows all the pieces that he's putting together in the background, because there's so many things that we can't see. We don't know what's going on. We don't know the conversations that are being had behind our back. We don't know whose heart God is touching right now to be more receptive to our interview and everything. We don't know. And so we just need to have faith in God and believe that he is truly going to do all the things that he said he's going to do. And that's just my encouragement for you today. If you're looking for a new job, I pray with all my heart that you get it. I pray that God makes it happen for you. Everything that you want. If you want to work remote, if you want to be earning $150,000 as a base salary, if you want to be able to travel while you're working, ask God. And I will encourage you to be faithful in the things that you do, because one of the things that comes to mind is that God says, like, don't steal from him as far as tithes. And you don't have to pay your tithes if you don't want to, but I encourage you to do it. God says that this is the thing that he says that you should use to test him with your tithes. Pay your tithes. And he said, test me, because he holds his word higher than he holds his name. Okay, like, he holds his word, everything that he put in the Bible, higher than his name. Everything that he has put in the Bible is for you to use to tell God, to remind him that these are the promises you made. This is what you said in your word. And this is what I'm asking you for. And this is what I'm praying for. Make a way for me. And I pray that God will do it in Jesus' name. Just remember to be faithful in everything that you do. Trust God, because I think the hardest part really is trusting God. And that's honestly one of the hardest parts for me, for someone who's had anxiety for years and years and years. Like, since I was 11, 12, I have not known how to do anything other than worry. And so giving it up to God is a whole nother trust level. And and that's what faith is, having a whole nother level of trust in God, giving everything to God and knowing that he's going to take care of it and he's going to do it. You just have to do your part in being faithful to him. And also, apply to jobs. Not everyone has the opportunity for jobs to just drop in their lap, So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was pretty long, but I really wanted to share my testimony with you guys, even though it's 2 years late. Better late than never, right? And this is the promise that I made to God that I was going to do, and I'm fulfilling it today. So I'm excited for you guys to see this video to thank God for me and everything that he has done, and also hopefully that it can be a source of encouragement to you in your journey, no matter what you're dealing with, even if it's not a job, but specifically if it's a job. So yeah, like I said, I got the job with a 35% increase from one phone interview that lasted 20 minutes. Like, crazy. They never even saw me. Like, they never even saw my face. Didn't even know what I looked like. Only ever heard my voice, and I got the job in 20 minutes. Like, God is so good. Like, God is good. That's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. And yeah, you'll be seeing more of me. Thank you, and God bless. Bye.